What is going on, everyone? My name is Extreme Serial, and welcome to this Monster Hunter Rise Charge Blade build video. So, in this video, I'm going to be showcasing two Charge Blade sets that are kind of the endgame OP meta sets, Ultimate Extreme Edition. Yeah. So, the first is going to be for the Savage Axe players out there, and for this set, we are going to end up having the Narga Charge Blade with Attack 7, Crit Boost 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Master's Touch 3, Speed Sharpening 3, Rapid Morph 2, and 1 point in Critical Eye, which is important to get you to 100% Affinity. So, the way this build is going to be broken down is the first is going to be Scream in the Night Narga Charge Blade with the Affinity Boost 2 as a Rampage skill. Next, you're going to have the Alamudron Helmet. You're going to have, this is for Rapid Morph 2, by the way, in 2 slots. It's just a great piece. Next up is the Kaiser Mail, which comes with a Critical Eye and a Master's Touch, and a level 1 slot. Followed by Rathalos Braces, which come with Attack Boost 2. Hold on. Yeah, they come with Attack Boost 2 and 1 gem slot. Then we have the Anjanath Coil, which comes with Attack Boost 2, a level 2 slot, and 2 level 1 slots. Just a great, efficient piece right there. And then, of course, we have the Hunter's Greaves, which come with Attack Boost 2, Stun Resistance, and 1 level 2 slot. I got the Demon Petal Ace on. Your Petal Ace is really up to you. And then as far as talismans go, there are a few options you can use. As a basis, though, I would say you would need at least a Weakness Exploit 2. If you have something more absurd, right now I'm rocking a Master's Touch 2, Weakness Exploit 1. But this isn't too crazy. This is only because I haven't crafted the Master's Touch decorations yet, so this just makes more sense to me to get the build. But if you had something like Weakness Exploit 2 with Master's Touch 3, Weakness Exploit 2, Attack Boost 2 with some slots, level 2 slots with it, you could really ramp up this build. But for a basis, you will need at least a Weakness Exploit 2. Nothing special, just that. So then let's get to the decorations. So for the decorations, this is your end game. So what I have is the Tenderizer Jewel for Weakness Exploit. We have 2 Critical Jewels for Critical Boost. On the Kaiser, we have a Grinder Jewel to help with the Speed Sharpening. Then on the Rathalos Braces, we have an extra point in attack. On the Anjanath Coil, we have our another Tenderizer Jewel, so that brings us to Weakness Exploit 3. And we have another Critical Jewel on the Hunter's Greaves. Now, I was talking earlier about you could switch out your talismans. So if you had a Weakness Exploit 2 talisman here, you could simply swap out these 2 Tenderizer Jewels for Master's Touch Jewels, and you end up with the same result. And of course, if you have a much more absurdly powerful talisman, you could add points into Rapid Morph to max it out. You could add points into Agitator, into Focus, into Power Prolonger. You could add points into Peak Performance as well. Really, it depends at that point. I mean, this is your basis to really get the most out of the build. Anything on top of this is just kind of an extra, but hey, I mean, if you lucked out with your talismans, just go for it. Now, as to what this build is capable of doing, this is for the Savage Axe playstyle. So if you see here, I'm just going to charge up my shield real quick. We're going to go right into the Savage Axe. And as you'll notice, my sharpness stays very much intact throughout the whole process. There's not really a point where it goes below white. And it's pretty awesome because you're doing just absurd damage. I mean, really just... And I can just keep going too. I mean, it's still white. This is just... Yep. And I'm still going. I mean, I could do this all day. Seriously. Yep, all of that, and I still have not lost my white sharpness. So I know that might have gone on a while, but I was just trying to get to really show you guys how much it'll take for you to really lose the white sharpness. And I stopped myself short because I still didn't have app and I didn't want to extend this video way too long and bore you guys. So that is the Savage Axe build. Once again, I'm just going to put it up on the screen. Here are all your important skills. This isn't really that important. Here are all your important skills. Yet again, attack boost 7, crit boost 3, weakness exploit 3, master's touch 3, speed sharpening 3, rapid morph 2, and 1 point in critical eye. Alright, now that we've seen good old Savage Axe playstyle, let's change it to our Axe Hopper and SAED Ultra playstyle. Yet again, another Narga build. So, here we have attack 5, crit boost 3, weakness exploit 3, artillery 3, guard 2, load shells 2, rapid morph 2, crit eye, and a guard up. Now this build right here is extremely customizable. Or I shouldn't say customizable, basically you can really push this build to the limit depending on what talisman you have. But let's start with the base, right? So of course we start out with our Narga Charge Blade, Scream in the Night. We have on our Affinity Boost 2. Next we have our Alamudron Helmet, followed by the Bareth Mail, which gives us an attack boost and 2 defense boosts, along with 1 level 2 slot. We have our Basil Braces, which give us, if I can get to it, load shells, guard up, and 2 level 2 slots. We have our Basil Coil, load shells, guard, 2 level 2 slots, and our Basil Greaves, which give us artillery 2, guard, and a level 3 slot. Pretty insane. Now, as far as talismans go, once again, as a baseline, you will need weakness exploit 2 to make this a viable build. Now, for some people, that's probably still eluding them, so you might have to do some more charm farming. But for others, they have far exceeded that decoration, potentially have a weakness exploit with extra deco slots on it, weakness exploit with attack boost, blah, blah, blah. Right now, I am rocking the attack boost 3 talisman, which allows me to push this set, well, literally 1 point attack boost further. But once again, it's not really necessary. If it is, you're just going to have this build even go crazier. As far as decorations go, we have a critical decoration in order to get us a point in critical boost, 2 tenderizer decorations because I don't have anything in weakness exploit. We have another critical jewel, we have another tenderizer jewel, and we have 1 expert jewel. So this is kind of important. You want this expert jewel just to have 1 critical eye. What that'll end up doing is boosting your base affinity to 51%. With a weakness exploit, you end up getting to 100%. If you don't have this expert jewel and you'd rather put it into something like attack boost or something like focus, I don't know, some convenience, skill, it may not be worth it because you go for a big hitting attack and yeah, you're at like 94% crit chance, but that 6% can really come to bite you. So I go 100% crit, put in the expert jewel. Going down the list, of course, in our Basil Coil, we have attack boost and we have another critical jewel that brings us to our final critical boost. And then on the final Basil Greaves, slot in the other artillery for a max 3 artillery. Now for me, let's go back here. Right, so I put on this attack 3 talisman, but you don't need this. Like I said, you could just have weakness exploit 2, or if you are super lucky and you have something even more absurd than this, basically what you would want to be doing is pushing your attack boost to maximum. Then after that, you have a choice. You can either go for convenience and put more points into focus so you can load up your charge blade even faster, or you can go for power prolonger because sometimes monsters don't give big openings and you need to stay powered up so you can finally nail that big hit. Or you can put points into agitator and peak performance, or things like master's touch in order to save your white sharpness. Really, it's up to you. But once again, to pull that off, you gotta get that absurd talisman, and even I'm not really there. So this is the build we got going so far. Now just to show you what it can do. Just like that, I'm already at fulled out shells. Now, okay, these guys are going crazy. Right, so you get in our shield, we go one charged attack, and just like that, we're already loaded up. Get some sweet, sweet damage. Now that's your SAED. What if we switched over to good old Axe Hopper, which I already have on, because I'm not paying attention. Right, so with our Axe Hopper, as you can see, the damage is absurd, 744. Now that's without anything on it, and of course to a training dummy monster, but if you were to go out into a real hunt, you get a good dongo in you, like the booster skill, plus your mega demon drugs, your powders, your damage will be absurd. Just remember, in this build, you want to keep up that white sharpness multiplier. It is great, and you also have to remember that you don't have speed sharpening in this. Your sharpening time will take a while. So once again, if you have that absurd talisman and you can fit 3 Master's Touch on here, you probably will never have to worry about your sharpness. But if you don't, just factor that in. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your 2 absurdly powerful Charge Blade builds for patch 2.0. Let me know in the comments below if you have some of those crazy talismans to kind of ramp up this builds, or you have any adjustments you would make to make them even more powerful. Other than that, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this build helped you out. Just remember as well that you don't have to stick exactly to this build. They can just be a base and you can make them whatever you want. The term meta is very subjective and this game can be played however you like. So with that in mind, have a great day. If you liked the video, make sure to give a follow and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.